Historically, technology has always been created from the application of scientific knowledge to a specific problem. Whether it was tools or machinery or processes, they were designed and manufactured with an intent to solve a particular problem. There was always this balance between human intent and technological application. These days, we are creating technology for the sake of creating technology. We are exploring, investigating, and creating without actually understanding what applications these new technologies might have in our world. There is this competition to always create new and innovative things without fully understanding the implications that they might have on our planet. The advancement of technological prowess has far outpaced our human intent. Now, what exactly does this mean? It means we need to play catch up. Humans need to consciously evolve to meet the technology where it is or where we see it going. We need to be able to contribute with conscious intent to create the future that we want, instead of becoming victims of the things that we create. And that requires some thinking. Now, after a lot of research over the past few years, we've come up with some important thinking skills and traits that humans need to have to be able to adapt to the world that we have created through these technologies that we've invented. And while we need to learn the skills about how to handle new technologies, the more important factors that will determine whether we succeed or fail as a society rest in our ability to be inherently human. Now, here's just one example of these skills, futures thinking. How can it help us? Well, it helps us to see past our current limitations and decide how to act consciously and take actions today for the future that we want tomorrow. It helps us to create alternatives to the current situations that we face so that we can change the trajectory of our behavior. It motivates us to achieve our goals because we can now envision it. It might improve general psychological health because we see alternative outcomes than what we have today. It can also make us kinder and change how we behave towards other people. And of course, it creates this environment for deeply informed decision making while also enhancing creativity, problem solving, and better design. And this ability to think about the future, together with all the other skills that we've demarcated, lies largely in the ability to use our brains, more specifically the prefrontal cortex, that is responsible for the higher order thinking skills and executive functioning. The problem is that in the communities where these problem-solving skills are most required, are often also the most traumatized. And that means access to these higher order thinking skills are bypassed by our survival responses. Trauma disrupts our ability to think consciously and make good decisions. It affects our creativity and problem-solving ability. And all of those skills that we identified as crucial for successfully navigating the fourth industrial revolution will be unavailable to anyone who's living in a survival state. Now, where exactly am I going with this? Well, as you can see, during the past year, many weak points in the system have come to light. Inequality, injustice, racism, and all manners of inhuman behavior have shown us where we are falling short. And the only way to fix this is for us to become more self-aware and heal ourselves and the communities that we live in from these traumas. The problem is that the very technologies that we are creating without our own conscious intent is being used to amplify our traumatic states instead of alleviate it. To heal from trauma, you need safe spaces. You need time and reflection. You need to process your thoughts and emotions. People are distracted and baited with all manners of things. I know I was part of the design industry and specializing in persuasive design. And the way we are designing human interactions with technologies today completely goes against what humans need. The tools and tactics that we use are being developed by businesses with business interests at heart, not human interests. They give users whatever they want. They disrupt everything. They deem technology as being neutral without malevolent intent. There's always this quest for continuous and unending growth. We design to get human attention. We design to get conversion. It's all about metrics and money and manipulation and persuasion. And now, the effects of these unconsciously designed technologies are manifold, as you can see, and it's evident all around us. And this is only going to be exacerbated by the new technologies that are going to be invented and gain mass circulation in the fourth industrial revolution. We are at an inflection point where we have to stop and start thinking about how we need to design when it comes to the future of humanity. The first step is always to start with yourself. Become more conscious. Disconnect from the machines and reconnect with yourself as a human being. Especially if you work in the tech industry and if you are part of the design and development process or even product management, anything that touches new technologies, you have to be consciously aware of what you're doing. For you to be able to access your higher thought processes, this is a necessary shift. We can already see the collective change in society. We just need more people, especially those working in technology, to become part of this change. Some of the key areas that we need to shift when it comes to conscious intent and designing the new human technology interactions of the future are that we need to create time and space to reflect, especially when it comes to implications, impact, and ethics of new technologies. We cannot skip this part. I don't know how much more I need to emphasize this, that it's not a race to create new and innovative things all the time. We need to stop and have intent for the things that we create in the world, because you are just contributing to digital garbage otherwise. Human attention is not a commodity, and we need to understand vulnerabilities in thinking and design around that, not exploit it. We need to amplify human skills and abilities and understand how technology impacts society. We need to be accountable for the unrelenting growth that we strive for, because it's not sustainable. Not everybody can be a unicorn. Our infrastructure is not designed for that. Our environment is not designed for that. We need to facilitate conscious, not habitual, automatic choices. We need to design for what impact is needed in the world. And we need to heal trauma to be able to do that. We need to be whole and create safe spaces in ourselves and in the communities in which we live so that we can use technology for good.